The monster I have today is the Nissan 370Z Nismo, or as I like to call it, the Baby Godzilla. Hello and welcome to a new video. The monster I have today is the Nissan 370Z Nismo, or as I like to call it, the Baby Godzilla. I've been looking forward to driving this car for a long time now, and I'm glad that I finally had the chance because it's an epic car. I really love it. I love the design. I love the performance. All in all, it's a great car. Now, to begin with, I love the exterior. It's an epic car. I love the design, especially on the back. The lights, the rear lights, the tail lights are really amazing. All in all, the car, it looks great. But with the Nismo edition, it looks even more aggressive. It looks bolder. It looks amazing. You have new bumpers. If you look at the one in the front here, you have a different design than the normal one. You have this red mustache, which is a signature now for all Nismo cars. In the back, it's even better. I love the design. I love the rear bumper and the diffuser. They look better, much better than before. On the side, you have these skirts. You have new wheels, a little bit different, and then you have a different spoiler. It's a little bit bigger. And while we're on styling, you have 19-inch wheels and the amazing red brakes calipers. This car is equipped with a 3.7 liter V6 engine that produces 350 horsepower, which is 22 horsepower more than the standard, and you have 374 Newton meter torque, which is 8 Newton meter torque more than the standard. So the difference is not that big. As for the transmission, you have the 7-speed gearbox. The Nismo edition of the 370Z is priced at around $50,000 US, which is $10,000 US more than the standard edition. The car is a bit expensive, but again, if you like it, if you are really into it, you will buy it without thinking, and I don't see why wouldn't you. Before we go to the interior, let's talk about the boot. It's a bit shallow, it's not big, but again, this is not a family car, so the size is okay. I like the fact that it's accessible from the cockpit. You can just stretch your arm and get anything you need, but the problem is that if things start to move about, especially if you go fast. In the back, you have a button to release the door, and you have another button that will lock the doors. So it's a good idea if you're carrying things out of the boot, you just push it and it will lock the doors. The interior of this car is a bit outdated. I think it's the only drawback about this car. I think it needs a lot of update, but again, it's not all bad. So there are a few things that I really like. For example, I love the feeling of the steering wheel. They used Alcantara material, and it's really nice. I really like it. You have specially designed Recaro seats with Alcantara material as well. They are not comfortable for a big guy like me, but the idea is to have bucket seats so that if you are speeding around the corners, they will keep you in place. You have a small screen, and it's not a touch screen, so I think they need to update it. You have a rear view camera, but no parking sensors. One thing I didn't like is these dials here. They are a bit waste. They're not interesting at all. I mean, they could have display better things, like for example the lap time or the acceleration time from 0 to 100 kph. These are more interesting than what you have now. You have now, one of them displays a clock which is 2 minutes behind the one on the screen. I don't know what's the point of that, and I don't like the orange on the dials. I think if they used red or white, it would look more interesting. I like the fact that you have a place to put your key in so that you don't lose it. That's a nice thing. You have a cup holder in the middle, and you have one on each door. One thing I didn't like as well is the paddle shifters here behind the steering wheel. They're a bit far. I can barely touch them with my fingertips. They need to be a bit outwards to be able to control the car while you're shifting. This is a sport car, so you need that. Another thing I like also is the storage units here behind the seats. Even one of them has like a small pocket. These are practical if you're having like a laptop bag you can use it and you can put it there. Now enough about the interior, and let's talk about the performance. I love how feisty this car is. It's very aggressive, it's very fast. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kph happens in 4.6 seconds, which is really great. I love the sound of the engine. I wish if they just improved the exhaust sound. I mean, this is a sport car, so you need like a better sound so that you can enjoy it while you're shifting, especially like with the downshifts. It could have been much better than that. The 370Z has been around for more than 12 years now. It's the 6th generation of the Z line, which stretches to more than 50 years. So the car has a rich history, but the sales are declining. I mean, in the US, they went from selling around 27,000 units a year to around 2,000 to 2,500 a year. So Nissan needs to do something about it. Nissan is a Japanese car maker, and the Japanese are known to be practical and modest. They're not flamboyant at all. But what Nissan is doing through the GTR and the 370Z is to demonstrate that they can do amazing sports cars. They are amazing with SUVs, with crossovers, with salons, but they want to show that we can do amazing sports cars, and they do. I mean, the GTR is an epic car. It's the Godzilla. We all love it. And this car, the 370Z Nismo, deserves to be called the Baby Godzilla because it's aggressive and it's powerful. Nissan calls these cars as the brand pillars. The idea is to uplift the brand, to give it a positive image, to give it a youthful image, to bring more excitement to the company. And that's why I like it, by the way. Like, I mean, you have the normal Ultima and the Maxima, and you have the Patrol, but again, you have the extreme with the GTR and the 370Z, especially the Nismo edition. This car could use an update. I mean, they can go for a hybrid version. They can update the interior for sure. They can, for example, upgrade the technology in the car. So this car would appeal for the people who love online games, people who love video games, and those guys like technology, so they need to improve it. I mean, aside from that, this is a great car. I really love it, and I'm really glad that I managed to drive it eventually. It's really great. I love it. I hope you like the video, and please let us know your feedback about the car and about the video, and thank you for watching.